Okay, well, welcome to the superpilotish channel, and today I'm going to be driving right here in Windsor on my motorcycle. And right now I'm on Wyandotte Street West, right by the University of Windsor, and you can see those trucks going overhead. Those are trucks on the Ambassador Bridge. So here we are, turning right onto Huron Church Road, and this will take us north towards the United States. Now, this is one of the funny things in Windsor, that we're technically just a little bit south of the United States. It's a little peninsula that kind of sticks underneath Detroit. Then there's some, I don't know, what can I tell you here? Yeah, they're doing a little bit of work on the bridge right now. And to the right, you can't really see it, but we're kind of going by the Assumption Church, which is one of the oldest churches in Ontario. I forget what the official designation of that church is, but it's an old Catholic church, and it was set up here. If we were to turn left at this light, I'm not going to, but that would take us towards the town of Sandwich, which is a little bit up the road, and it's one of the oldest settlements that is west of Montreal. And because there used to be a lot of trade here, you can see we're coming up to the river, and just on the other side of the river is the United States and the city of Detroit. So I'm hanging a right. Of course, you can tell I turned right, and we're going down Riverside Drive. You can tell it's Riverside Drive because there's the river on the left. Directly ahead, you can see in the distance the Renaissance Center, which is the Renaissance Center is in Detroit. Great big hotel, and that's where the General Motors World headquarters is, in that building. And we're just taking a nice little drive down here. If you see a few signs, there's an election coming up, municipal election. That's what those are. It's not everybody using the same real estate agent. It's they're just some election signs. A little piece of art we're going by there. Down here, you can't really see it too much in the video, but there's a sculpture garden down to the left in the park there. You can walk along and you can see various sculptures that artists have made, and it's kind of nice to check out some weird looking art. Some of it's pretty cool, some of it's maybe not to your taste, but it's a nice little way to ride your bike. And they also rent these little scooters here, little bird scooters. You can rent those and go booting around on the not the trail, but the you can see that truck turning there. He's going down to park in the park, and there's along the whole way that I'm going to be riding my motorcycle here. There's a bicycle and pedestrian path right down by the river. So a lot of people like to go jogging there, and they like to go riding their bikes and renting scooters and go down there. And it's a beautiful day. The day I was riding along here today, you can see the Renaissance Center up there on the other side of the river. And here we go, a nice little ride. Trying to dodge some potholes and try to keep it kind of smooth. And I was, so the way that I took this video here is I got a GoPro camera and basically this goofy little stand, and I threw it in the on the inside pocket of my jacket and just kind of aimed it the best I could forward. It's just basically the camera's in my pocket right now. If you look on the right, there's a couple of antennas. The big one on the right, that's for AM 580 CKWW. That tower used to be about twice as big way back in the day when CKWW had I think it's a what is it? I want to say a 50,000 watt station. So it had quite the range back in the day before they chopped the tower in half. And I guess there was some kind of dispute over the land that one of the guy wires was on, so they had to chop it in half. And what else we got here? We're going to be coming up on the right. There's the Windsor Art Gallery. It's supposed to be shaped in the like the bow of a ship. It's kind of glass there and kind of pointy. So something to check out. And you can see there's a cruise ship that's parked on the left. They're parked, moored, I guess, on the left. And sometimes cruise ships will come in here along the Great Lakes. And you can see a great big Canadian flag there. The flag's relatively new to Windsor. It's a few years old, and it's pretty huge. Oh yeah, here on the right, that little Chrysler, that's the Chrysler Canada headquarters. Now you see there's this chick crossing the street. She does this nice little pirouette for me here. Ta-da! There we go. Thanks for doing that nice little dance routine. I don't know. She's got her earbuds in and she's just having a good old time. And yeah, so this is the main street of Windsor. It's Ouellette. The French would call it Ouellette. And but everyone just calls it Ouellette Avenue. And that's kind of the main drag. If we were to turn right, we'd be going right down down the main drag. And that's where that's where you got to go up and down and cruise that. Check out chicks. Yeah, hey baby. Oh wow, look at her. Yeah, she's hot. Everybody just cruises up and down Ouellette, and that's what you do in the Motor City. And just driving up here a little bit more. On the left, there's kind of like a little pavilion. They'll have concerts down there. On the right, this is the casino. That glass white building. That's a hotel. That bigger building for the casino. And so, a good place to go and lose your money. Thank you. The Ontario taxpayers, thank you for bankrupting yourself. Yeah, so we're going to keep driving down here some more. The plan is to go down here to the, I guess, the area that they would call Walkerville. And that's because this guy named Hiram Walker started a distillery there. You might know that the name of the distillery at the time when he made it was the Hiram Walker Distillery. And so he bought a big tract of land and he put in a big distillery there and made a whole bunch of whiskey, Canadian Club whiskey. That's what we make here in Windsor. And you'll see that when we're coming up here a little bit more. The Canadian Club whiskey is pretty famous because, us people in Windsor here, it was Canadian Club whiskey was kind of like the main munitions with the Whisky War that we had with Denmark a few years ago. It's good that Whisky War is all done over Hans Island, up between Greenland and Baffin Island up there. And the locals, they call it Tartupaluk. That's what the locals call it. So we were supplying the whiskey in the Whisky War with Denmark, and luckily that came to a peaceful conclusion. You can see here it's now a Pernod Ricard company. And you can see there's a big grain. In the old days, they used to come with big ships. I think they still do, and they put it in the grain elevators there on the left, that white building. There used to be some train tracks here too, and they would unload grain on the train tracks, but they took that out, and a lot of the grain comes in by truck now. And yeah, so I don't know what I was doing there, adjusting the camera, I think. And then if we were to turn right, oh yeah, there's a little statue on the right of Hiram Walker, and that's Devonshire Road. That'll take you right into Walkerville town. This old building on the left, that's the old headquarters where they started up the distillery, and you can go for tours there if you want. It's pretty interesting. Here we are, more distillery buildings here, making the Canadian Club. You can see it says home of J.P. Weiser up here too. It's I don't know, this company gets bought out by these guys and those guys, and so if you get Weiser's whiskey, that's made here too. It's that employee parking on the right. Oh, that's exciting. Now up here, okay, on the left, it's kind of a vacant lot. That used to be, we're coming up to Ford City. is what it's kind of designated as. It's not its own city, but we call it Fort City. On the left, there used to be huge sand piles that were brought in there to use for the castings that they would make for the engine plant, which is closed down. There was a foundry there. There's an old blue car. And yeah, we're going to go down Drouillard, or Droulard, as the locals call it. And this will take us into Fort City. So this route here that I'm taking would be the route that if you got your truck and you went down to the river, you'd pick up your sand and you'd drive your truck down here to make the molds for the engine blocks, and then they'd pour all the molten steel into the mold, and then they'd bust off all the cement, all the sand, and then you'd have your engine block. So they closed the plant down a little while ago. Now it's I think it's a logistics facility. I think Ford still owns it, but they're not really doing much. They rent it out, and you can store stuff in there. And we're going. This is Wyandotte Street, kind of that runs all the way from east to west in Windsor, going underneath the train track there. Yeah, so here we are. We're coming up to Fort City, and this used to be a little bit run down, but it's really coming back. We've planted some trees, and it's becoming a cool place to hang out now. And little bars are opening up, and there's a lot of potential here in old Fort City. And yeah, if you were in a truck, you might hang a left here, and you'd go up to the gate of the plant, drop off your sand. And if you were wondering, the 351 Windsor, it's a Ford big block V8 engine that was made in Windsor here, in Fort City. But I don't think it was called Fort City way back when, and then it got amalgamated, got swallowed up by Windsor. And this is kind of the oldest part of the town. And then I just figured I'd kind of end the video up here. There used to be a school on the left, but now it's a community center. And I guess kind of the oldest part of the town kind of ends at the train tracks. So that coming up here, so that's where I'll end the video here. So there you go, a little trip through Windsor, and thanks for watching.